Peter Cannons and Preston, Paul Coombs, William Barrett and Paul Howell. Go on, mate.
Monty Amer's not on the grid.
Monty's not there either. Okay, so that end of the day, I'm afraid. Adam Fruin, Andy Seddon and Sheridan Goach are up next. Just having a look at Adam's bike there. It's not quite as pretty as his mini twin as the thousands get underway. Who's got the jump there, buddy? Did you spot it?
Well, it's a bit of a blur of yellow bibs there as they go round the first corner then for the first time of 8. So it's all eyes now to the lights for the rookie 600. And good start there from the end of row number, that's James Egginton, number 122 at the end of row number 2. In fact, as they make their way now towards Redgate for the first time of 8, as we mentioned. And likewise for the rookie thousands, who are now making their way through the old hairpin underneath where Starkey's Bridge was, and coming back into our view very shortly indeed as they go through the uphill left-hander of Swans, then over to the right-hander for McLean's. Now, it looks like we've got a bit of a breakaway 3 here. 1, 2, that third position there, just losing a little bit, a few tenths there as they go around that right-hander at McLean's there. But the 600s will be now making their way through the old hairpin. But down the back straight we go then for the first time of asking, and it is number 812, Matt Whitney, credited with the race lead as they went from sector 1 in towards sector 2. Easy for me to say as they go round the Robert chicane and come around to complete the first lap. So it is Matt Whitney from Dan Chamberlain from Ben Wood. Now Dan Chamberlain throughout the course of this season, he's had a slight disadvantage in that he's got 3/4 of the displacement of these guys.
Well, we've only got to look at the sorry mate, we've only got to look at the lap records for the various classes, and you notice that between the 600s and the thousands there's not usually a huge amount of difference. Grab that one there, mate. Cool. We'll sort these out in just a second. Yeah, I'm definitely on that one. You're on that one.
Go, yep.
There we go. You're back in the game.
If you wanted me to be quiet, you didn't have to break my microphone.
Very effective, though. But yeah, the other thing I've noticed, of course, is Adam Fruin and James Egginton. We're used to calling their names in relation to the mini twins as well.
Yes,
they're
absolutely.
Going double bubble. Not something. Yeah, you were talking about the 3/4 displacement because Dan, as you said, is on the Kawasaki, on the
GSXR 750.
GX 750. But the difference between lap times between a 750 and a 1000 is pretty marginal at most places. As long as you can ride, you can usually ride the wheels off the sucker. As Mr. Whitney, the local man, comes across the line, but bear in mind he's from Nottingham. This is his first time with us. He does go the quickest lap at 15.170. Chamberlain and Wood very close together behind them, just about a tenth of a second separating them. Yanni Gallas over the line there, and it's Wells, Riddle, Rees, Driscoll. Now Morgan and Mansford, well, they're going to get eaten up very shortly by the 600s, as indeed they already have, because Hickmont, Lord and Tufnell, Braystock, Morgan and Mansford are dropping right down there. They were there.
Yeah, they're just coming across the line now there. So as I said,
they've lost a lot of time already.
The leaders of the rookie 600s will get into the thick of things with the slower of the thousands there. A couple of 2 or 3 laps into this
times they're doing. Those guys are the Mansford's into a 32, whereas obviously the leaders in the 600s hasn't come across the line there. So maybe James is missing at the start there. I think. Thought I saw him, but maybe not. Wasn't paying too much attention to the grid. What I do know is, say purple there for Chamberlain. He was 3/10 of a second slower than Whitney last time across the line, but this time he comes across the line. He's halved the gap from 6/10 to 3/10. He does a 14.730. So there's your difference in speed, mate. He's about 1/4 of a second quicker than the bigger bike in front of him, opening up the gap between himself and Ben Wood to about 2/10 of a second. Yanni over next. It's Tony Gallows. As we see the next bunch come across, that is Rees, Wells, Driscoll. And then comes the leader of the 600s. It's Hickmont, followed by Lord, Tufnell, Braystock, Cannons and then Braystock actually. Go on.
Yeah, you mentioned Aaron Hickmott and James Lord first and second in the 600s there. The gap was only 3/10 of a second, and on that previous lap it was James Lord on that number 40 Triumph who went half a second quicker than Aaron Hickmott there. So a 16.195 for Aaron, and James on a 1 minute 50.68 on today, and the race winner yesterday as well on his Triumph.
So looking to do the treble there. James Lord is very much in the championship, came here 57 points behind Aaron Hickmott, who leads the way ahead of Paul Coombs. And let's see, James wasn't at the first round of Brands Hatch, so he's playing a bit of a catch-up game. Fortunately for him, Matty Mason wasn't at the last round of SNET. In fact, Matty's not here this weekend either, so not quite sure what his plans are for the rest of the season. Could be good news for James Egginton, because he could well move up. was Kurt Elliott. I don't think he's here this week. Oh, yes, he is. Sorry, Kurt is there. And down in 7th place, so he'll be looking to pick up some points as well. Just having a quick look at the lap records there, Brad. We need to be into the 12s for the big bikes and the 14s for the slightly smaller ones.
I think this is the kind of lap record that hasn't really been troubled throughout the course of the weekend, has it really? Here as we've got 1 minute 14s and 15s, 14s and 15s again yesterday. Yep,
Callum Manley might have taken away a broken hand from this particular meeting, but last time he took away the lap record. So yeah, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. But I think I'd rather have the lap record than the broken hand, that's for sure. And I'm sure Callum would feel that way too.
Reassuring words from Keith Rossiter.
Okay, Wood there going green at sector 1 there as he tries desperately to keep in touch with the guys in front of him who are just starting to eke away. I'm keen to see this Whitney and Chamberlain battle though, because I'm wondering who's going to have the upper hand here. Is it going to be the former star of sidecar motocross? It is indeed who takes over the front running cover boy. He's coming good towards the end of the weekend after having a bit of a wretched Saturday. He's about to lose the lead though, Bradley.
It looks as that his second place is going through. That was Matt Whitney in second place across the line there, and just ekes Dan Chamberlain off of the line there and sets in a little bit wide there, but not to worry, it's still Whitney from Chamberlain there. Perfectly safe move there for the race lead, and lap times that time around, in fact it was Whitney who was the slowest of the 3, but still manages to find himself in the lead.
Okay, I guess that's the way the cookie shuffles sometimes. Those 600s getting right in the mix now with the 1000cc machines. Hickbot from Lord and Tufnell, they're up to 6th, 7th and 8th on the track, so that means there's only another 5000cc machines in front of them, so that means that they've relegated, let's see, that means they've got about to, where are we, 10 machines, well, maybe about 6 machines behind them, something like that. But either way, it does show that it is all about the rider and not about the bike, that's for sure. You have some big CC.
Just had a 10-second penalty come up here for a yellow flag infringement there for Kurt Elliott and the number 511 machine. That's one of the Barretts there, William Barrett, sorry, who have both got a 10-second penalty for a yellow flag infringement. Now, yellow flag, I suspect, is somewhere in the first sector, because that is the one that's predominantly out of sight as the race leaders in the thousands come back towards us. And it is still Matt Whitney leading the way by a quarter of a second now.
Okay, I think I know what the yellow flag might mean. Eggington, of course, didn't come round at the end of the first lap.
Yes, that's right.
So we lost James. I was pretty sure James was on the grid there. So right, didn't hear anything on the radio. Has my battery gone flat again, or no? Just turn the sucker down. So yeah, no tenor on the radio because it had it turned down. But yeah, I think that's what it'll be. That's what happened to James Eggington, unfortunately. There we go. Now we've got some radio chatter.
So Whitney is leading the way by a quarter of a second, as you say, over Dan Chamberlain. Of course, Dan Chamberlain ahead of the number 85 Yamaha of Ben Wood by, we've got someone running a little bit wide there on the exit of Coppice there. Doing a bit of grass track in there, but they are back onto the circuit now. Didn't quite see who that was, but they'll certainly lose a handful of time when they come around to complete this next lap. But we do have 6 laps complete. We are on the penultimate lap here as the race leaders in the thousands make their way up in towards the second sector. There they are. First, second, third, and it is still Matt Whitney with the advantage. But Ben Wood is going personal best in that first sector. So Ben Wood on that number 85 Yamaha R1 could well be looking to mount a late race challenge. So, looking down towards the Robert chicane, then let's have a quick look as to who is doing the business out in front. And we do have one of the slower 600cc riders coming into play here, and it is Whitney leading the way from Chamberlain, from Wood, and Ben Wood does set the fastest lap of the race on that lap, even with a green and a yellow sector. So a 1 minute 14.729 for Ben Wood, and the last lap flag has now gone out.
Okay, 4/10 of a second covering those top 3, and as you say, they've got 1 lap left to do the business. Just wait and see how much quicker these 600s are going to get up to. Where do we get to in the earlier race? We got the 600. That was a 9-lap race, of course, so that gave James Lord a little bit more opportunity to clamber his way up to 4th place. I don't know if he's going to get quite that high this time, because he's come across the line 6 seconds, 5.5 seconds ahead behind Hickmott, though.
So Aaron Hickmott there, 2.7 seconds behind the man in front, and the man in front only has a 10th of a second behind Alex Yanni. So
yeah, you're right, and he went 3 seconds quicker than either of the thousands. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him back up to 4th place. So that just shows the speed of the 600s around this circuit, certainly the riders. So we're humbling some of the guys out there. So sector time shows that Whitney's gone fastest in sector 1. It's a PB, and he is showing as being the leader. So we've got one last chance. Bit of a suicide squeeze. No, nothing happening there. I think it's going to be as they were across the line. But that's good news for Chamberlain in a way, of course. All right, he misses out on 25 points, but it's somebody who's not in the championship there who won't actually have an effect on Dan's results there. So Ben Wood there in third. He'll be well pleased with that. That's some more good points, and he's currently second in the championship. So that's the one that Dan Chamberlain needs to worry about. So I think Dan Chamberlain's got more than the 3-race advantage. Oh, actually, no, because Ben would have picked up some points yesterday, but there was only the 1 race yesterday, wasn't there?
Ben Wood, okay,
so,
yesterday.
Yeah,
so
he picked up 16 points
16
yesterday.
points there, and then
lost 9 there, and he's just lost another 4, is it? Yeah, so, yeah, pretty much even Stevens as they were, I think, more or less, give or take a couple of points. I'm not going to sit